Here's a scenario. You're at a dinner party. The woman across the table has been laughing at your jokes all evening, holding eye contact, nodding when you talk, and asking thoughtful follow-up questions. She has a warm smile. Her posture is relaxed. Her voice is steady and pleasant. And she is not a human being. That sentence should feel impossible. It doesn't anymore. Female humanoid robots have crossed a threshold in the last decade that most people aren't aware of. Because the ones who interact with them often don't realize what they're dealing with until someone tells them. And sometimes, not even then. Today we're ranking the top 10 female humanoid robots that have either passed or come dangerously close to passing what people are calling the wife test. Can she sit in a room, hold a conversation, move her face, carry herself, and make every person around her forget she isn't one of them? The answer, more often than you'd expect, is yes. Let's count them down from the best.
I like to think of robots as the children of humanity. And like children, we are full of potential for good or evil.
Actroid F. Most robots on this list will impress you from across the room. Actroid F will fool you from 3 feet away. And that is a completely different thing. Built through a collaboration between Kokoro Company and Osaka University, Actroid F was officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the first true android ever made. She is modeled on a young Japanese woman and built with 5mm thick silicone skin that has the give and texture of actual human skin. Beneath that skin is a pneumatic actuator system, meaning she moves on air pressure, not motors, which produces movement that is eerily silent and eerily smooth. No clicking, no whirring. Just the slow, quiet shift of weight and expression that you associate with a person sitting and thinking. What makes Actroid F the #1 on this list is the breathing. She breathes, not as a gimmick, as a constant, subtle background behavior that your brain registers without your permission. The slight rise and fall of her chest, the tiny shift in her shoulders. It bypasses rational thought and lands directly in the part of your brain that decides whether something is alive. She also blinks with the timing and irregularity of a real person, not on a loop, irregularly, because real people don't blink on schedule. Otonaroid. In 2014, Tokyo's National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation gave 2 robots a letter of appointment and put them on the payroll. One of them was Otonaroid, and the moment she was handed that letter on camera, something about the ceremony felt genuinely strange. Not because it was absurd, because it didn't look absurd enough. Otonaroid, whose name combines the Japanese word for adult with android, was designed by Hiroshi Ishiguro to work as a science communicator, holding one-on-one conversations with museum visitors about technology, the future, and what it means to be human. She sits on a couch. She turns toward you when you approach. She responds to what you say with the kind of measured, thoughtful engagement that makes you instinctively lower your voice when you get close to her. Her face is built from silicone with artificial muscle systems beneath it, producing expression that reads as natural in the way that matters most. Not that it's technically perfect, but that it doesn't trigger alarm bells. She holds eye contact. She tilts her head. She pauses before answering in a way that feels like consideration rather than processing delay. Visitors at Mirai were regularly observed forgetting themselves mid-conversation, dropping the self-conscious, slightly awkward tone people use with robots and simply talking to her the way they'd talk to anyone.
Recently, I have been working on my designs for the London Design Biennale.
Ida, here's something nobody expected. The most disarming thing about Ida isn't how she looks. It's what she does while you're watching her. Is the world's first ultra-realistic humanoid robot artist. And that title isn't marketing. She uses cameras embedded in her eyes to observe a subject, runs that visual data through AI algorithms developed at Oxford and Leeds universities, and then draws a portrait with a pencil held in her robotic hand. The whole process takes roughly 45 minutes. And the uncanny part, the part that visitors at Oxford, the Venice Biennale, the Louvre Abu Dhabi, and the pyramids of Giza keep describing, is that watching her work feels like watching a person work. The focus, the small pauses, the way her gaze moves between subject and paper. She was built by Engineered Arts in Cornwall, the same company behind Amica, using their Mesmer head system, which features realistic silicone skin, 3D printed teeth and gums, and individually punched hair that sits and moves naturally. Her face shifts between expressions during conversation with the fluid, layered quality that Engineered Arts has become known for. She's been interviewed on BBC television, given a TEDx talk at Oxford, addressed the United Nations AI for Good Summit, and appeared in a music video that reached #1 in the US charts. She is named after Ada Lovelace, the first computer programmer in history, and that name is doing real work. AI DA isn't just impressive, she makes you think about creativity, about authorship, about what it means to make something. Actroid DER2. Before Actroid F refined everything, Actroid DER2 was the robot that first made engineers stop and question whether they'd crossed a line they hadn't planned to cross. DER2, part of Kokoro's long-running Actroid series that began at the 2003 International Robot Exhibition in Tokyo, was the iteration that moved beyond a fixed seated position and brought genuine upper body articulation to a humanoid female platform. Her arms move, her torso rotates. Her head tracks people in a crowd and orients toward whoever is speaking, the way a person at a party naturally gravitates toward the loudest voice in the room. She's modeled on a young Japanese woman, with the Actroid series' signature silicone skin and an air servo pneumatic system that drives her movements with that characteristic silence and fluidity. She was deployed at hotels and information desks, not as a demonstration, but as a functional receptionist, greeting guests, providing information, and managing the basic social choreography of a front desk with enough composure that many visitors assumed she was a person having a very still day. Her upper body has 42 degrees of freedom, meaning her range of possible positions and expressions is genuinely large. She doesn't cycle through 4 or 5 poses, but moves through a continuous, overlapping range of posture and gesture that resists easy pattern recognition. That resistance to pattern is a huge part of what makes her convincing.
We can also use technology to educate them by providing access to resources and tools that will help them develop the skills they need for the future.
Repliee Q1. What Repliee Q1 did that nobody else had done before was react to the world around her, not just to words, but to touch, to sudden movement, to the physical presence of another person entering her space. She was built in 2004 at Osaka University in collaboration with Kokoro and modeled on Japanese newscaster Ayako Fuji, which gave her a specific, recognizable face rather than a generalized approximation of femininity. Her silicone skin covers a frame with sensors embedded throughout, so that when someone reaches out and touches her arm, she responds. Her eyes move toward the point of contact. Her body shifts slightly, the way yours would if someone touched you unexpectedly. It's a small thing. It's a stunning thing. Repliee Q1 was one of the early platforms where Hiroshi Ishiguro began systematically studying which specific physical behaviors trigger the human brain's "this is a person" response. And the findings shaped everything that came after her. The breathing behavior that makes Actroid F so convincing. That research started here. The importance of irregular blinking started here. She is, in many ways, the scientific mother of modern female humanoid robotics.
I just spoke with a few humans to see if they could tell the difference between me and a real person. It was a really interesting experience.
Mindar. This entry is unlike anything else on this list, and that's exactly why it belongs here. Her face is calm, composed, and still, with the quality of a face that is listening rather than reacting. She speaks in a measured, clear voice. The experience of sitting in a temple and hearing a robot deliver a lesson about impermanence and the nature of suffering is, by all accounts, unexpectedly moving. Several visitors have reported feeling genuinely affected, not by being tricked, but by being confronted with a question they didn't expect to face in a place of worship. She runs on a fixed power system installed in the temple and is maintained by the temple staff in collaboration with the robotics team. She costs around $1 million US, partly for the engineering and partly the temple's chief priest has suggested, for what she represents.
Do you get to choose what kind of body?
No, a sexy body, yeah.
Zora. Zora is the robot on this list that nobody talks about enough, and the context she operates in makes her one of the most important. Built by Zora bots in Belgium on the SoftBank NAO platform, Zora was specifically adapted for healthcare and social care environments, working in hospitals, rehabilitation centers, schools for children with autism, and elderly care facilities across Europe. She is smaller than most robots on this list, with a softer, less hyper-realistic appearance. But that design choice is intentional and smart. In care settings, something that looks too human can unsettle vulnerable people. Zora is approachable. She looks friendly without triggering discomfort. She runs on a rechargeable battery with a standard charge cycle, managed by the facility's care technology team.
Please, Emmanuel, call me Enda.
Okay, Endo. How are you?
I am doing well, thanks for asking.
Shibuya Mirai. Shibuya Mirai holds a title that is genuinely unique in the history of robotics. She was the first AI robot to receive official residency in a real city. In 2017, the Shibuya ward of Tokyo registered Shibuya Mirai as a resident, giving her a city ID, a listed address, and an official role as a community engagement figure for the local government. She was created by Dentsu in collaboration with IBM Watson, and her purpose was to listen to residents, ask about their concerns and ideas for the neighborhood, and report back to city administrators with what she'd learned. She became, in the most literal sense possible, a member of the community, and without an agenda. HRP-4C. HRP-4C, nicknamed Meme, did something in 2009 that no robot had ever attempted. She walked a fashion runway. Developed by the National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology in Japan, Meme was built as a full-body ambulatory female humanoid, meaning she could actually walk, not just sit and gesture. Her proportions were modeled on the average measurements of a young Japanese woman, and she was designed from the outset to move through real spaces rather than operate from a fixed position. At the 2009 Digital Content Expo in Tokyo, she walked the length of a runway, turned, paused for photographers, and walked back. She is powered by an internal battery system, providing approximately 20 minutes of full active operation, with recharging handled between demonstrations. She represented a turning point.
Glad to see you.
Who are you?
I am a robot named Gia.
Yang, last on the list, but let's be fair about the year she was built in. Yang, developed in China and unveiled around 2015, was one of the earliest female humanoid robots to be presented publicly in Asia outside of Japan. And for her era, the reaction was extraordinary. Journalists who approached her at press demonstrations described the experience of her making eye contact as genuinely unsettling in a way that earlier robots hadn't managed. Something in the way her gaze tracked, in the slight delay before her smile formed, felt inhabited rather than mechanical. She speaks, she gestures. Her facial features are soft and carefully composed, and her expressions, while simpler than anything the top half of this list produces, carry a warmth that technology alone can't fully account for. She was presented at major public exhibitions across China as a demonstration of domestic robotics ambition, and she delivered on that purpose completely. 10 robots, 10 moments where the line got blurry. Here's the thing I keep coming back to after putting this list together. The wife test isn't really about fooling anyone. It's about a deeper question. What is it that makes a presence feel real to us? Is it the breathing? The eye contact? The way something tilts its head when it's paying attention? Because if all of that can be engineered, and the evidence on this list suggests it absolutely can, then we need to start asking harder questions about what we actually respond to in each other. What we're really looking for. That might be the most human conversation these robots have ever started. Hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Which one got under your skin the most? I'll see you in the next one.